The world is a liar. What you see out there is not reality. It's a collective projection of a limited perception of an infinite perfection. It's a projection. We are in an apocalypse right now. An apocalypse means the lid has come off. All that has been hidden is being revealed. But as transformational leaders, as a transformational leader, and I consider all of you in your own way, teachers, artists, coaches, healers, transformational leaders, even if you're aspiring, in a world that is getting smaller and smaller because of connectiveness, I believe the most important campaign that we have to be on is not make America great, but make humans great again. Or we could say for us US people, make Americans great again. Make people great again. And so I'm running for a new precedent. That's precedent, which is about setting a new standard for the future. And my campaign slogan is, make humans great again. Now, it doesn't make a very good baseball cap. I looked at it, it's like mahaga. Doesn't quite work, but we'll keep working on it. The point is that the secret to making anything great again, your relationship, your business, your family, your country, the economy, the ecology, and the whole world, is that you make humans great again first. Humans, if humans are at their very best, everybody wins. Everything wins. That's the real mission and message of all true change makers, thought leaders, and even the greatest artists. It's about doing their part in helping people become the greatest version of themselves. That's why Shakespeare said the purpose of the play was to hold up a mirror to people, to let them see themselves. As Gandhi said, we must become the change we want to see. Without that as the foundation, everything else is on shaky ground. Would you guys agree? If you're just trying to make the outer world great again, let's make America great again, let's make this country great again, let's make this company, or in most relationships, it's let's make my partner great again, right? If only my partner would get great again. If only my kids would be great again. If somebody else would change. But really, the foundation is us. This is why the OG spiritual or self-help principle was and is know thyself. You can't be yourself if you don't know yourself. And if you're not being yourself, you're something that isn't true or real. You're a parental fantasy. You're a product of peer pressure or societal conditioning. You're a bad math equation. Your 2 + 2 = 5 or equals 3, which is false. And that is false doesn't exist. If you're not being yourself, you don't exist. The bottom line is if you're not being yourself, you're hurting yourself and or you're hurting others. And that is the foundation of everything. If you're trying to be something you're not, from an evolutionary, spiritual, and natural perspective, you're on your own. You're on your own. Now, I'm not judging you. I'm not telling you to judge yourself. But I want you to understand that nature will never support anything in being something that it is not. It won't and it can't turn an acorn into an apple tree. Jesus himself could come down and pray over that acorn, and it is not going to be turning into an apple tree. Right? No matter how badly you want it, no matter how badly the acorn wants it, it's never going to be able to become anything that it's not. The evolutionary pressures of life are only working to fulfill the pattern that is already in the seed. There's a pattern in every seed, including the seed of you. And all of life, metaphysically and materially, naturally and supernaturally, is conspiring to fulfill the pattern in the seed and nothing else. Now, the good news, it's conspiring to fulfill the pattern in the seed. Everything. The bad news is if you're not being what the pattern of the seed is in you, then the universe will feel like it's conspiring against you. If you're being something that you're not, your experience will be, why is everybody against me? Why does shit keep happening to me? Because you need to turn that shit into fertilizer for the seed in your soul and not somebody else's idea. You are the prodigal son. You're a branch cut off from the tree and it's withering. It's not connected to the source. You're all alone instead of being all one. You're swimming upstream. And if you're not a salmon, quick little secret, if you're not a salmon, swimming upstream is a bad strategy. Okay? just want to throw that one in there, right? All of our suffering and our lack, including all the reasons we fail to succeed in our work and in our life, relationships, etc., comes down to the degree that we are being something we are not, or resisting being who and what we really are. And the fact is, most of our ideas about ourselves are false or distorted. Most of our ideas about ourselves and even our place in the world, and even our ideas about the world, it's based on a limited, distorted, and often completely false perspective of who and what we really are. We are living in a matrix or a simulation, not of a computer, but of our mind. But it's an illusory identity and worldview, and no matter what we do or how we try to fix, change, heal, or improve ourselves, we'll never get out of it as long as we're coming from a false story, as long as we're coming from a belief that is causing us to not be true to ourselves. All the problems an acorn would experience if it believed it was an apple seed and trying to be an apple tree, no matter how much it tried to fix, change, heal, or improve itself into an apple tree, it would fail. No amount of healing modalities, no amount of prayers, no amount of self-help programs, no amount of courses or coaches could ever help that acorn become an apple tree. No amount of help can help you if you're trying to be something you're not. No amount of help can help you if you're trying to avoid being what you are. I just saved you hundreds of thousands of dollars in therapy and coaches right there. You're welcome. Fire everybody that's not helping you do this first. Quit everything that's not helping you do this first, because it all boils down to the one simple principle. Know thyself. To thine own self be true. Know yourself. Be yourself. Know yourself. Be yourself. Know yourself. Be yourself. Chicka, 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 chicka. I think I can. I think I can. I know I can. I know myself. I know myself. I'm being myself. I'm being myself. When you really know yourself, you're a lot less serious too, by the way. If you're overly serious, you don't know yourself because you're a freak. It's a typo in the Bible. It is not the meek that inherits the earth. It's the freak. Because when you know yourself, you're a freak compared to so many others in the world. Jesus was a freak. Buddha was a freak. Mother Teresa, freak. Disney, this old dude making a bunch of cartoons, freak. Edison, just working on light bulbs. Like, what's a light bulb? Nobody knew what a light bulb was. Thousands and thousands of times. Freak. All the freaks inherit the earth. The people that know themselves and that are having the courage to be themselves. But to know ourselves aright, we have to be courageous enough to really look at ourselves, to look at our story, to look at our beliefs and our identity and our map of reality and challenge it. Challenge it. And then understand its deeper meaning. Until we have this expanded awareness of what's really running us, of the stories we've been telling and how they're not true, we don't have free will. This is where all the anti-free will, atheistic, scientistic people are right. We don't have free will, most of us. This is where it's true that the robots will replace us because they've already replaced most people. Most people are already just unconscious programs running robotically. The rise of the machine that's already come and gone. It's like most humans are robots. So for most humans, being replaced by an AI would be actually an improvement in consciousness. So the fact is that until you have expanded awareness, you have you have not free will, but free won't. You're in resistance, you're reacting, you're hiding, you're asleep, and you're playing a part you weren't cast in, and you're in a play that you don't belong in. And again, nothing's gonna work or be sustainable. But the truth is, you have genius in you. That seed of infinite potential and purpose is a seed of genius. It's the seed of mastery. It's the seed of mission and purpose and illimitable power and beauty and goodness. The capacity to love and to heal, it's all in you. You are the light that lighteth up every man and woman that cometh in the world. That means the greatest mind, the greatest heart, the greatest body, the greatest being, the greatest artist, the greatest leader that have ever lived, that life, that mind, that possibility, that potential is in you in a unique and unprecedented way right now. All of you are Buddhas and Jesuses and Mother Teresas and Edisons and you whatever Shakespeare's and in incipiency, but in your own unique, unprecedented way. But for you in your life to succeed, you must be an embodiment of this true essence. It must be embedded in your unique code, what I call the life code. Your whole life must have this code embedded in it. And when your life and your work is infused with this divine program, things work, and they work better. And you become better, and you're on track now, and you're congruent, which is the perfect word. You become congruent, because understand, for the seed to emerge, the conditions the seed is planted in have to become congruent with the pattern in the seed. When the conditions are congruent, the pattern emerges. When you create the congruent conditions in your life, within and without, which we're spending the weekend doing, that pattern of purpose emerges. The potential emerges. No matter what the problem is you're facing, the potential in you is always greater, but you have to become congruent with that potential. And so it starts with an understanding, knowing myself. That leads to an inner standing, an inner rootedness. And that allows you to have an outer standing, an outer rootedness, an outer strength, so that no matter what comes at you, you're not shaken or broken, because you're not rooted in the world. You're rooted within yourself. An understanding, an inner standing, and then an outer standing, and that's when you become outstanding. That's how you stand out. That's how you become truly great, where greatness is the ability to be ourselves authentically and powerfully and fully, and give the gifts we were designed to give, the way all the trees give their flowers and fruits and nuts that they were designed to give, and not the flowers, fruits, and nuts some other tree was designed to give. And if we do that, we will make America great again, and Europe and Asia and Africa and everywhere, and every system. The healthcare, the wealth care, the economics, everything will shift on its axis and become aligned with who we are. And one other thing, this isn't about fixing yourself. Any work that is trying to tell you to fix, that you have to fix yourself, you want to turn and walk away from that. Because that's again coming from the false story, the false identity. This is not about fixing yourself. It's about finding yourself. It's about rediscovering and reclaiming and allowing more of you to come out. The gardener does not fix the oak into an acorn into an oak tree. You broken little acorn. You know, the acorn is not an inadequate broken oak tree. It's a perfect acorn with the potential of an oak tree. And the gardener doesn't judge it. Oh, you sad little nut, you crazy little nut. It's like, go out there and build an oak, make something of yourself. No. The gardener doesn't try to make an oak happen or whatever. The gardener creates the condition that makes the oak or the apple tree or the rose bush welcome. Doesn't make it happen, makes it welcome. It's a process of coming into alignment, knowing yourself, knowing the pattern, knowing the life code, coming into alignment. And as there becomes congruency, the law of emergence kicks in and your life begins to blossom. You're not broken. Your whole, complete, and perfect idea of life, but you've forgotten who you are. So it's know yourself, be yourself. That's the idea. You're not a problem that needs to be fixed, healed, or solved. You didn't come here to fix, heal, or solve a problem. Life doesn't have problems. Life has qualities, has ideas, has seed patterns that are meant to blossom and bloom. And I want you to, these are not just fun, funny little ideas. I want you to begin to, as I'm saying this, look at the way you've been living your life. Look at how you've been living your life from this false paradigm that something's wrong with you and you got to fix, improve, and heal and change yourself, or that something's wrong with the world and you got to fix, heal, change, and improve it. And you've been spending your life in resistance and in a story of lack, limitation, separation, duality, good and evil. And no matter what you do within that story, you're always going to end up with more of that. There'll be no end to your problems. So from a spiritual standpoint, there is no problem. There's just potential. But acorn doesn't show up and go, well, there's a lack of oaks here. I better be an oak and solve that. Or, well, squirrels are really lacking in food and stuff to bury. So I better, be an oak and give them some acorns. That's not how it works. The forest is a grand idea, part of a larger idea that contains infinite ideas. But it's a big idea. And none of them are fixing or solving problems. It's emerging. It's an emergent thing, right? The whole pattern is here and it's unfolding. And I won't get into this weekend, but I have my whole theory of evolution that I've been shown spiritually is that evolution is not from nothing to something and ever greater complexities and solving problems. And no, evolution is only possible when there's involution first. Something has to first be there, the pattern. And evolution is a process of finding the next best condition for this grand pattern of life. And that's true with you too. And so when you begin to recognize, I'm not on my way to something, I'm not on my way to fixing, changing, or healing myself or the world, I'm already coming from it. I'm coming from a pattern of wholeness. I'm coming from the light. The ray of sun is coming from the sun. The wave is coming from the ocean. I'm coming from. I'm an emanation of. I'm an expression of. I'm a branch of a greater tree. I'm not on my way to health, wealth, success, abundance. I am coming from wholeness, harmony, abundance, on my way to give, shine, share, and be more of it. On my way to flowering, to flourishing. This is not mere semantics. This is what shifted my whole life around from being suicidal and broke and living in a one-room apartment on mac and cheese to within about a year and a half having a six-figure then seven-figure business and falling in love and getting married and all the things starting to work in my life. Because I flipped it. I remembered who I was, what I was made of. I wasn't an empty shell. I wasn't a broken, evil sinner. I was a whole perfect pattern of life and love on my way to an ever greater flourishing and flowering. And now I had to keep knowing myself and keep being true to myself. I already have it all. I just have to come into congruence with what I already am and already have. And then it unfolds. And I want to just say, it matters so much as I've been talking about because the world is crazy. Okay, people, I don't think I need to tell you, and it's going to get a lot crazier. The world is a liar. What you see out there is not reality. It's a collective projection of a limited perception of an infinite perfection. It's a projection of a limited perception, a perception of separation, lack of limitation. And it's going to get a lot crazier because there is a greater light and love and higher frequency that is seeking to emerge on the planet. But love casts out all fear. So as it's emerging, like the body getting rid of a bacteria or a virus, there's fever and there's chills and there's vomiting and it's gnarly. While the body gets rid of all the stuff that doesn't serve it anymore. And it's especially going to get gnarly with the rise of technology and AI, as I've been talking about. And this gets down to the heart of the matter, because we are in an apocalypse right now. And apocalypse means the lid has come off. All that has been hidden is being revealed. And it's been going on, creeping up for a while, even since the 60s, but it took a big turn with the 9/11, then another really big turn with the pandemic. And this is the fourth turning. That's why it takes a few decades. But we're now in the kind of the grips of it, of this fourth turning and this apocalypse and this lid opening up and the truth being revealed and also the demons escaping. And what AI and technology has done and is going to do is exacerbate all of it. It's going to exacerbate the meaning crisis, the polarity, the loneliness crisis. Now, it also, in the long run, could solve a lot of very important things. I'm not a Luddite, I'm not anti-tech, but in the short run, there could be a new dark ages. And so this is so critical, because if you don't know who and what you really are and what you stand for, and you're not deeply anchored in that purpose, and you have not designed a life that is congruent with that, and you are not living from your power, from your agency, the AI is going to manipulate you and you will not even know it. It's already happening all over online. The rise of depression and suicide and all these things, it's all correlated with the rise of social media. The distraction, the cognitive atrophy, we can see the rise of technology, cognitive abilities going down, polarization going up. We don't have the ability to hold a conversation, to have two ideas in our head. We can't even get home without our damn GPS. We are lost, and we are going to get more lost. I'm telling you what I know. I've seen it. I've seen it before the AI even came on the mainstream. I saw the pandemic before anybody saw it coming and believed it and thought I was crazy. But this time I'm not shutting up, because the meaning crisis is going to be dramatic. The job loss and displacement and disruption is going to be dramatic. In the last industrial revolution, 99% of everybody's way of life was completely eradicated. We're agrarian culture, and now we're not. What are we? We don't know what the hell we are. We don't know what we're becoming. And it took several decades, 60 to 80, I don't remember the exact number. But everybody was farmers and nobody was farmers. I want you to understand the dramatic change. And now what they're saying, the top experts, not just me, but I am a domain expert in this work now. I have a new book coming out next year called A Whole New Human, The 10 Ways We Must Evolve to Survive and Thrive in the AI Age. And so they're saying now, if your kids are going to school, don't study law, don't study medicine, don't study art, don't study media, don't study writing, don't study psychology. Like, it was just like, study how to prompt an AI. That's about it. Like, this is no joke, because already all the systems and the machines and the proof of concept is in the pipeline. There's going to be a flood of content. Doctors, top doctors interviewed, asked, who would you want as a doctor? The doctors that know the technology in the pipeline, would you want AI or would you want a doctor? The majority was like AI. And the movie industry, they now have in their capacity, and will by the end of this year, the ability to make an entire movie without actors, without crew, without anybody. I think they'll still need a writer. And this is where it gets down to your unique creativity, because that's what's going to make you irreplaceable. But the point is, podcasters with a switch of the button can now take their podcast and put it in every language all over the world. And by the end of this year, they'll be able to hit a button and create unlimited synthetic podcast influencers that aren't real people, that you will not know the difference, and then populate them in every country, and then have them all write books with like a flick of a button, folks. And boom, I have 100,000 synthetic podcasters and influencers and books, and I create profiles across the internet. It's already in the pipeline. We are reaching a singularity. And what that means is the whole way of work, of wealth, of economies, of jobs, of what it is we're even going to have a use for is all on the table. And humans can survive anything. Holocaust, pandemics, wars, famines, except one thing, the loss of meaning and purpose. When a human being loses their sense of meaning and purpose, they die. As Viktor Frankl showed in the Holocaust, in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. They die. They don't just have a bad day. A person commits suicide because they just don't see any reason to go on. And this isn't just going to affect jobs and lose your meaning there. There is millions of AI companions now proliferating. And increasingly people are saying they prefer their AI companion to a human being. And that's going to rise. As loneliness, people are turning to AI. And it's going to be embodied in robots. Robots that cost you about 50 cents an hour. So there's all the manual labor gone, all the intellectual labor gone, and now companionship gone, potentially. Again, this isn't just me saying it. I wrote the book about it, but they're only now starting to catch up and say it. I saw it all in the download I got 3 years ago when the voice said, build the ark, the flood is coming. I was like, what? Who said that? And it showed me what was coming, and I've been watching everything unfold. So here's the good news, bad news. Bad news is if you don't get ready, if you don't make this weekend the most important weekend of your life and you don't figure this stuff out and get to know who and what you are and why you're alive and double down and really make your life congruent with this vision in you, then you are going to be susceptible to all the manipulation and all the trends, and you're going to get swept along by the tsunami. You're going to be standing on the beach going, honey, look at that pretty wave. Wait, that wave looks pretty big. Honey? Run! And it's too late, right? So I want to get you out there in the water surfing so you can ride that wave. And you can, because I'm a student of history, and through every great crisis, the greatest new generation of leaders, artists, creators, influencers arise. Look back before the pandemic and after, and you'll see an entire new generation of influencers, of teachers, authors, thought leaders, change makers, healers, who are now superstars, who are now, whether you agree with them or not isn't the point here. That's where leaders are made, is in times of great challenge. And this is the greatest existential threat we have faced as humans. And the really strange part, most humans don't even know about it yet. And they're not prepared at all. And it's coming really fast. Projections are this year, there's going to be some major inflections. And within 18 months, we are going to collectively be feeling the pain. And again, if you're ready, if you've got your life's work just dialed in and you've built your platform or written your book and you have the tools and the consciousness and the mindset to be living your life authentically, to be living congruently, to be living from a true mindset of abundance and service, you're going to have a beachhead established, and you're going to be a light and a lighthouse in the storm. And you're going to be the one people look to. And you're going to have your radio tower above the floodwaters so that you become a signal in the noise. Who here wants to absolutely look back and realize that they took this moment to prepare themselves? They didn't wait, they didn't waste, they didn't wander, they didn't wonder, they didn't screw around and make excuses, but you actually pulled yourself up and dug a deeper well within and took a stand for what you're really made of and made for. And you look back and see that I did it. And as the flood comes, you surf it and you are successful in a sustainable way and are making an impact and a difference you came for. Who wants that? When you want something as bad as the drowning man wants his next breath, you'll have it. But if it's just like, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, that would be nice. No, it's like, they say it's either a fuck yeah or it's a no. And you want to know your clear no's, but boy, is it time more than ever for us to know our fuck yes. We have to take a stand for ourselves, for our humanity, and for our future. Because ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, if you don't, it will be taken away. And thought leaders are not all just pie in the sky, everything's gonna be great, 7 figures in 7 weeks. No, sometimes you gotta bring out the prophet. And you gotta be like, wake the you know what up, people, because the flood is coming. As it says in Proverbs, where there is no vision, the people perish. It doesn't say where there is no vision, the people, they have a bad day. They run out of lattes at Starbucks. Where there is no vision, the Lululemons don't fit anymore. Where there is no vision, we die. We stagnate. We are zombies, which is why there's so many zombie movies and TV shows out there. It's the artists tend to give us the preliminary preview of coming attractions. We have become mobs of zombies, following trends and algorithms, and we need you to come out from amongst them. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. If it's easy, there's nothing there. The potential is where it's difficult. You want to go find new gold? It's not just shiny on the surface, just hanging out. You got to blast your way through the mountain and dig, because otherwise everybody else would have gotten it already. And so we have to be able to put on our big boy and girl pants and do the hard work. And I believe you are. Right now, there's about 1 million books published every year. That's going to go to 10 million, then 100 million. Right now, there's about 70 or 80,000 songs on Spotify every day posted. That's going to go to 700,000 and 7 million very quickly. Right now, there's a couple million podcasts. Oh, going to go to 20 million, 100 million very quickly. There's, I forget how many billions or hundreds of millions of web pages. It's going to go into the trillions. Right now, there's already the beginning of deep fake and misinformation, disinformation. It's going to get so bad, we are going to live in a post-truth, post-reality world. There's going to be so much content, so many opportunities to be distracted, that in the next 18 to 24 months, if you have not absolutely, once and for all, finally, whatever it takes, gotten your life together and gotten your life's work out there and living life at the fullest possible potential you can, if you do that, you're going to be okay. If you don't, it could be all over in terms of ever having a chance again. Because those that are not established, it's going to be like starting a race after the runners have already lapped you a couple times. You're never going to catch up. I know that's not pretty sounding, but sometimes you need to hear the hard medicine. If you ever want to get your work out into the world, if you ever want to get your life to the next level, you got the next 12 to 18 months max. Now, of course, some people will break through, but I'm just telling you, it's already hard. It's going to get 10x, 100x, 1,000x harder. People are going to, with a touch of a button, be able to create an entire movie studio. With a touch of a button, create an entire media studio with agents. It's not just AI, large language models. What's coming this year is all the agents. That literally means synthetic people. And now with a prompt, I can populate my company, my life with 100 agents that are going out and doing all the work for me. And we'll have a company that's literally companies created just with one person, boom, like magic. Like I said, an entire media company, podcasts, books, workshops, just with agents going like little elves building everything, making everything, and one individual. Now you could be that individual if you start and know what it is you're here to build. But I just want you to get a grasp of the scope of how utterly and profoundly unprepared we are. And if it makes you scared right now, good. Wake up. Like a soldier in battle, you are awake. You are present. Good. Because at the very least, you won't be able to say nobody told you. And if you take it seriously, you won't be able to look back and go, damn it, why didn't I listen? The good news is you're getting this news before 99% of the population understands what's going on. If you're willing, you've got a massive head start to position yourself as the new generation of teachers, authors, change makers, healers, thought leaders, artists, influencers, to help and to heal and to uplift humanity, and to build a foundation of long-term success that the world can't take away, that AIs cannot replace. You've got that now in your hands. You've got the baton. And if this gets you thinking and going and preparing, then I've done my job. Again, that's the work of a prophet. The prophet doesn't just say, life is good and God is all there is. The prophet is like shaking. Just imagine I have long, scraggly hair and a long beard and loincloth and, covered in soot. Maybe I should have worn the prophet outfit. Next time I'm going to wear a prophet outfit when I give that talk. Okay, so the good news is you're here and you're hearing and you got time and you've got it all in you. Yes. The good news is people are going to need your help. You're going to have more opportunity than ever if you're prepared. Yay. The good news is we have a group such as this who have arrived for such a time as this, who are hearing the call, not letting it go to voicemail where the universe gets mailbox full, but you're answering the call. Yes. And you got to just keep answering.